You don't know this about me, but I absolutely love the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It was my favorite cartoon growing up as a kid, and I've been recently, over the last few years, reading the comic books, and they've just been some of the best things I have read. And you cannot imagine the excitement I have had when I found out earlier this year that the Ninja Turtles were doing a crossover comic with Naruto, and I love Naruto. And this just seems one of those like weird collaborations that just makes sense, especially with the fact that both series revolve around ninjas and even mysticism to multiple degrees. And if you got Boruto, sci-fi, just like the Ninja Turtles. So it feels like something that would probably happen, and the Ninja Turtles have done multiple crossover comics with multitudes of different franchises, like Power Rangers, like Batman 3 times, 4 if you count the movie, 5 if you count Injustice. They've done Ghostbusters, Street Fighter, freaking He-Man. Like, the amount of crossovers that this franchise has done over the last decade at the bare minimum is just insane. And the fact that we're getting a 4-issue limited series with them in the Naruto universe is just something I did not expect to see in my lifetime. But hey, I welcome it. And if this does well and is good, I wouldn't be surprised if we got more collaborations like this with other anime and manga in the future. But before I get into talking about this comic, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell for updates on future videos. Really helps, and it shows you guys enjoy the content I make here on the channel. It shows you want to see more. If this does well, maybe I'll cover the following issues as they come out. It's only 4, it's a mini-series, so I might be able to keep covering it, but it all depends on how well this does. Either way, I'm just going to keep reading it, as this comic is already a blast from the first issue. So, without further ado, let's jump right into this. So the issue starts off with April being accompanied by Team 7, as she's being taken to the Big Apple Village. Obviously, New York City turned into the placement of the Naruto world. And based on how things are, this is before the time skip of Naruto, before things really got wacky and out of hand, with Kakashi, Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura, as they are taking April to her home, as she recently went to interview Tsunade for her expertise as a medical ninja. She's an expert in biology, because previously she went to do a story on Dr. Baxter Stockman, who had recently been let go by a very prominent university under not too clear circumstances. And after talking with him, she realized and saw that his research was in biology, mutations, getting biomutants for military purposes, made possible with this theoretical mutagenic compound they just called the Ooze. He wanted to create super soldiers with the innate traits of animals and humans, creating actual monstrosities as mutant ninjas. Also, I just like this image of April as she is just witnessing just these silhouettes of just giant mutant creatures, one being a fly, probably a reference to Baxter Stockman turning into a fly mutant, in the back probably being Rocksteady. If you don't know Ninja Turtles at all, these names mean absolutely nothing to you. After hearing about this, Naruto thinks about the fact that he got the Nine-Tails sealed with him, creating a monster. Sasuke says that it sounds dangerous with a visage of Orochimaru, referencing him. Obviously, this is most likely due to the fact that this is most definitely post-Chunin exams, post-curse mark Sasuke, most likely for all we know, if we're going to put this in this fictional timeline of the Naruto universe. And obviously, this is a crossover what if. I will get into something later on in this issue where it will pertain to an altered timeline, which I think would be kind of for the better if Naruto went a specific direction with a particular character, which I'll get into later on. But Sakura asks if what April said about Baxter Stockman's research was all theoretical. But as she's about to talk more, someone off on the corner appears to have April hand over to them. And it's revealed that the Foot Clan has arrived. And okay, after reading these the IDW comics, this Fox Ninja girl is Alopex. I freaking love Alopex. She is a great character, and at some point I would love to talk Ninja Turtles comic books, because Alopex is definitely a character that I would love to talk about. Multiple characters in that comic are characters that I would just love to talk about. So I just love Kakashi just making a quick joke over the Foot Clan saying, hand? Didn't you just call yourself the Foot Clan? I don't know, it's something about weird jabs like that just makes me laugh. Now Naruto looks at Alopex and is wondering what's going on, considering that she looks like a fox. But Kurama pops in and essentially tells Naruto that she's an artificial, fake, one-tailed fox girl. She is not a tailed beast user, she's not a Jinchuriki. Now, as this is pre-time skip Naruto, the idea of Jinchuriki weren't really brought up until Shippuden, which I would believe if Naruto had a bit of a remake or remaster, specific things like terms of Jinchuriki and tailed beasts would be more so known in the Naruto universe to an extent, at least terms, in my opinion. I could obviously be wrong. Now Kakashi snaps Naruto out of his trance, and as they get ready for battle, there are smoke bombs that disperse the Foot Clan, and each of the fodder ninja get taken out each by various wielders of various weapons: katana, bow staff, nunchuck, sai, and a stick. And so Alapax retreats, and as they do, the smoke disappears, as we see Master Splinter and the Ninja Turtles wearing particular masks, staring down Team 7. Now, I'm not gonna lie, these really cool masks are great. I like it, even though technically they're mutants. In the world like this, it could come off as just base disguises anyway. But yeah, I just like these designs for the Turtles. I love these masks. I love Splinter's mask the most, and Leo's. I'm just gushing because the art in this comic is actually really good. But anyway, obviously the classic crossover misunderstanding occurs, as Leo then asks them to let April go. And Splinter just sighs, just saying, ugh, teenagers. Now, Team 7 aren't going to let April go, as they believe that they are the enemy trying to kidnap her. Now, April obviously would most likely be able to explain the situation, but just like, you know what? Maybe I'll just record what I'm about to see right here. And I love the enthusiasm. April in many iterations has just been really big on being a really great reporter with great instincts for this type of stuff. And she thinks like us. We want to see this fight. But at the same time, this misunderstanding can be very much cleared. Possibility, your friends will probably end up getting very brutally injured or killed if this goes too far. But I respect the hustle of the reporter. And so the fight begins with Leo and Sasuke facing off, Sakura versus Raph, and Naruto versus Donnie and Mikey. Now, these matchups, to an extent, make really cool sense. We also get Kakashi versus Master Splinter. The senseis fighting against each other makes sense. Now, Leo takes on Sasuke because he has an idea that he's technically the leader of like that three-man group, though it is Kakashi. But he notices that there's a lot of vengeance in Sasuke's eyes, and he knows all too well what that can lead to, and it could lead to destruction. Sakura tries to hit Raph with some kunai, but it bounces off his shell. And she then goes on to try and hit him with close quarters combat, breaking the ground around her and getting smug about it. Now, this is the change, the real big change, that makes no sense in proper Naruto canon, but the fact that this is a what-if and an altered timeline, I can fully accept, and it's something that I kind of wish happened in Naruto, and is that with Sakura's brute strength, she only really gets this type of strength after training with Tsunade for the 2 years. So in this timeline, it'd be pretty implied that she trained with Tsunade, like, after she became Hokage on the side, giving her better chakra control so she can enhance her strength. Because Sakura didn't do this whatsoever pre-time skip. She barely fought in hand-to-hand combat or even had this type of, like, power to begin with. So in order for her to keep up here, it makes sense for her to at least have some level of superhuman strength that she would have post-time skip, even though she wouldn't be as strong as she is post-time skip. So I think this is a good change for this what-if, but let me know what you guys think about this change down below. Now, I love how Raph wanted to fight Sasuke initially, but then the second Sakura punches a literal crater into the ground, Raph just gets kind of freaked out over her brute-ass strength. So Naruto is jumping around fighting Donnie and Mikey. Honestly, kind of makes sense that Naruto will fight Mikey. They're both pranksters. They both have this type of lackadaisical attitude to an extent, and they're both the idiots of the group to varying degrees, with insane potential. Now, as Donnie and Mikey are just talking about how they have the advantage, and if Naruto's kind of crazy for doing 2v1, Naruto then uses the Shadow Clone Jutsu as he then charges at the two of them. Now, the Shadow Clones are definitely overwhelming them, and they aren't able to get the real Naruto in this mix. We then cut to Kakashi versus Splinter, as the two of them kind of lecture each other on their team's dynamics, as Kakashi says that Splinter's team is powerful but lacks polish, but Splinter says he could say the same thing about his Team 7, as Kakashi then tries to counter Splinter and believes that their moves seem familiar. But then Splinter then enacts his own lightning style jutsu, and he says, "Let me guess, their attitudes." Obviously, a bit of a jab at the fact that they're all teenagers and they're just acting up in this instance and probably won't listen to their senseis to varying degrees. Rebellion and all that. I still find it funny that the senseis are fighting each other. I also find it cool that Splinter has lightning jutsu, which I find really cool. We cut back to Sasuke versus Leo, as Sasuke is telling Leo not to lecture him, but he points out that Leo also has vengeance in his eyes. Well, Leo says that they're not the same, and they control my feelings to protect my brothers. Sasuke calls that sentimental, and says that he doesn't have that type of burden. Leo tries, and misses, thankfully, to cut off Sasuke's head, cutting off a piece of his bangs, as he says, "Yeah, I can tell you don't have something like that." Raph and Sakura keep trading blows, as this actually seems pretty even, with Sakura complimenting Raph on being faster than he looks, and Raph saying that she's stronger than she looks. But as he keeps dodging and weaving, he tells her that, regardless of the fact, they both know that in this ninja eat ninja world, strength alone isn't gonna cut it. So you just gotta be just as tough. As Sakura then crashes to the ground with her strength, with Raph dodging out of the way. Back to the fight with Donnie and Mikey against the clones, Donnie actually comes up with a plan to deal with the clones, and only tells Mikey is to act natural, as Mikey instantly understands what Donnie means, and the second Naruto goes to punch Donnie actually retracts his head into his shell, which freaks out Naruto, being like, "Whoa, wait, hold on, I didn't think I was punching him that hard," which singles out the real Naruto as Donnie whacks him with his bow staff, which then undoes the Shadow Clone Jutsu. And April is just really glad that she's getting this on camera, despite the fact that it's gonna come out all blurry. But she's got no regrets, because this fight is awesome. Obviously, she's the audience surrogate in this issue just for this fight alone. Team 7 reassembles in front of April, as she's telling them that she's okay. Leo tries to talk to Master Splinter about something, but Splinter tells him to hold on. Splinter then compliments Kakashi on the strength of his shinobi, as they rival his sons, with Sasuke saying, "Wait, sons? Are we fighting against a proper clan then?" Splinter laughs, saying that the Foot Clan has all but rendered the term of clans meaningless here, and that they're all just a simple, humble family. Kakashi says, "Well, perhaps I should be grateful. Your family finally gave my students a decent workout. Still, I think I've seen enough," as Kakashi unleashes his Sharingan, and in a flash rips off all of their masks, revealing their faces. At the very end of the comic, Kakashi says, "Hidden meanings within hidden meanings. You may look different, but a shinobi knows how to see through deception, and this is all too real. However, unexpected." As he says, "It's good to see you again, Hamato Yoshi." As he stares down, Splinter and the Turtles unmasks, showing that he has known Splinter before. And that ends the issue. Honestly, this fight was great. The paneling was pretty well done. I love the coloring. The art style is actually really great. It captures Naruto in a very fun and engaging way. The Ninja Turtles in these designs to help fit within the Naruto world is actually pretty damn cool. And I'm not gonna lie, I want to know more about this altered universe timeline with somehow, someway Kakashi knowing who Hamato Yoshi is and just how this whole thing works. And I want to see them all fight the Shredder. Now, where this could end up going, obviously they're gonna fight the Foot Clan, Grand Conspiracy in this new village, and we're gonna learn about potentially the origins of the Turtles in this universe, which is most likely tied due to Baxter Stockman, thanks to April. Also, it's very implied that April already knows, like I kind of implied earlier, that she knows about the Turtles and they're already friends, considering that they came to rescue April in the first place. So that all makes sense. The origins of the Turtles have already happened. They've already befriended April. It makes sense. So I am really excited to see where this can go and how the action can in fact play out, and how we get some character interactions and relationships. I like the matchups that we got in this chapter, despite the fact that the Turtles have one more character on their side than Team Kakashi. So Naruto will probably interact more with Donnie and Mikey within these coming issues, maybe team up with them, and he can complement their fighting style. Sakura can team up with Raph, both kind of strength-wise, and Sasuke and Leo, due to their whole things with family, and Leo probably going to try and hammer some stuff in about vengeance and protecting his family with Sasuke. Now, like I said earlier, altered timeline heavily implies that Sakura trained with Tsunade in this universe. Probably is not going to get explained, but it's just heavily implied and realized for those that have read Naruto know how Sakura gets that strong to begin with. So I kind of like this. Obviously, this will take place before the Sasuke retrieval arc, before Sasuke ends up going all, I'm going to do full-on vengeance and all that. But since Tsunade is Hokage, that heavily means that Naruto probably knows the Rasengan at this point, and Sasuke knows the Chidori. So a lot of things could be just altered, like with Sakura's strength in this timeline, but we'll see how things play out with future fights and interactions with the Foot Clan. But let me know your guys' thoughts in the comment section down below about this issue. Are you excited for the rest of this crossover series? How do you feel about it? Was it as good? Did you enjoy it as much as I did? Are you looking forward to more from this series and the artists and writers in general? And would you like to see me talk more about Ninja Turtles every now and again in the future, or for me to make just a separate channel talking about Ninja Turtles? Let me know. It's one of my favorite comics of all time. I would love to talk more Turtles with you guys. And what's more, like and subscribe, hit the notification bell for updates on future videos. Really helps and it shows you guys enjoy the content I make here on the channel and shows you want to see more. Now with all that said and done, hope you all have an awesome day, and turtle power all the way.